We're going to stick the colour as it is. We're going to buy it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. That's going to do everything we want it to do. And we're going to go run and get that from the shop. And I'm going to meet you back here. So I'm going to see you in a minute. Oh, exciting. Fantastic. Is that it? Is it 61 kilograms per tree? And how do we just withdraw? And how do we unload? That's what I've just literally run over that again. Well, it's nice to see that. I'm just literally. I presume we get the unload sign. I've never used this. This is a voyage of discovery. Truthfully. Oh, it would be useful if I actually tipped it a little higher. Let's have a look, shall we? What do we do? It doesn't actually say. I presume you can actually grab more than that, though. Yeah, that's a point. You might have to unfold it. Sorry, Dan, but no. Okay, well that's a little bit odd. Okay, well we'll worry about it later. Let's just until it's full. I'm not really worried. We've got a lot of work to do. We're going to go straight back into that time lapse. So I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, nope. I'm gonna give up on this one. Something's not quite right. It's shaking the tree as it should do, and it is very, very hit and miss. You can go low, you can go high, you can go middle, and it shakes the tree, and it doesn't always. It's like something's not quite right. Could be me, but I've been trying to be patient. I have, because it did work the first couple. Just fold that down. Yeah, I can't unload it into the thing, but then I had trouble with this particular thing only on this map as well, so I can't discount the fact that something is, you know, like doing something to that. I've never known that before, but that doesn't mean to say, yeah. So we'll unload this here. Yes, it's a strange thing to say. No, that's what we're doing. Right, okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the other trees as well, and we're going to be thorough, and we're going to try that, because it could just be one particular one of them that's not working. So I'm going to see you. There's a lot here. This episode, I looked at the footage I got today. I pretty much got a full episode, but I thought, well, I'd cut some bits out. I'd really like to show you obviously a bit of a success, but this is the first time, and it is a new map as well, so I can't discount the fact that it doesn't work at the minute, and that's definitely very hit and miss. It works, then it doesn't work, then it does work, then it doesn't work. You go low, you go high, you go middle, and it just doesn't shake the things out of the tree, and then you go to one. That's why I kept sort of chopping and changing, because you have got to sort of be a little bit patient for it to shake it, but you could see it shaking the trees and nothing happening. And so you were like thinking, well, surely the shake is what is supposed to happen, which I know it is, that it literally shakes the tree, and then the fruit drops out onto the thing. Obviously, it's obvious. Nobody really needs that explaining. You know, I'm not really trying to explain to insult someone's intelligence, just to say that you can see the animation working, but it's not actually dropping it off the tree. So I'd like to try it on this one again. This tractor is the right horsepower range, and yet it says no, you can't do it. So it says insufficient engine power, and yet it plainly reads 85 horsepower. Now probably, no, I don't know actually. We looked at them yesterday, didn't we, in the session? Yeah, yesterday, last month, should I think, September. So they'll probably be 50% ish at some point today. Yeah. Again, sending the workers across the map, they seem to get snarled up about around here. Yeah, they won't come around this sneaky way because they don't recognise it. They literally have to stick to the splines, but they go wrong around there. They go into the garage or down that bit of land and crash into the garages. So it's like the AI splines aren't right either. Travel across the map past that area doesn't work. And now we've done it the other side of the shop and it's fine. In fact, yeah, I've done quite a bit of travelling on this map. If it doesn't involve going past that area, it seems absolutely fine. So yeah, it's not broken in so much as it's not working full stop. But it certainly is, you know, I apologise, yeah, but I'd just like to explain as well, because it's one thing about time lapse, is you can stick in a time lapse, you've got to like keep quiet. But I thought, well, for once I'm not willing to blame myself. It's a new map. There isn't a lot to it. It is literally shake the tree and the fruit drops out, which is true to... No, let's for once stick to the path. So it's nice to have this. I love this tractor. I'd forgotten it had got a front loader, if I'm honest. Totally forgotten that it had got the front loader option. Because I was talking about the Fiat Agri being like my first choice. I've got to be honest, if this was a little bit more powerful, anything. It used to have 150 horsepower tractor that was frequently that was a Deutz. Was frequently my tractor of choice because 150 horsepower is not a bad start. You can make use of 150 horsepower tractor in a lot of ways. So yeah, the slightly bigger one, which had it was called like, I don't know what it was called. I must check on one of my episodes, but it was my favourite sort of starting tractor that didn't need to be too powerful. And again, it was about that's why I put this one in the game, because it reminds me of it, and it's almost it. It's 143 horsepower, so I think, but it'll do quite a lot. I like it, and also it's got narrow. And again, this is a bit like the Fiat Agri in so much as it's a good all-rounder. Now yeah, I'm just going to offload it to the floor now. We know that we can bucket it in. Right, so yeah, I'm presuming as well, like the tree lends itself, but I don't think you need to be as precise as a certain bit on the trunk. But I did even try that on that last tree, on the almonds. Yeah, I am right, this isn't pistachios. So unfold. Yeah, I'm making sure that the fork's inside the tree. And yeah, that really is as simple as that. That's what it did it with the first couple of trees. And then literally just suddenly stopped. So, and it seems to be, and the fact that it says about barrels, I don't understand. Can you put barrels with this one? As in, like, you can unload into the barrel if there's an empty barrel. Is there an empty barrel in this shop that you can buy? That is not a bad place to start. Didn't we see something that I thought was, I think it was in pallets, that was odd, and obviously is matte base, and I'm sure it was that colour. Ah, so we can buy. We're going to need to do that. Being as we have obviously got the def pack in, yeah, for making def. So it also seems to then mean that you've got to have def. Which I wasn't really trying to do that, but let's crack on. Let's have a look. Lubricating grease. That's for another mod. Mineral water barrel. Purified mineral water for production. Right, so it looks like we're going to need some of these. Stick cage. Holds a small amount of firewood for the stove. Okay, no, that's fine. erShaba again. Crate to transport soybeans. Ah, that's all of those. These are all normal ones again. Just want to be... Aha! It does talk about that hydraulic oil. That's the picture, I'm sure it is. Olives and olive picker, Royal Christie. Is that... We need this? Maybe it's lubricating. Okay, well, it seems to be managing without. Perhaps it's part of this process. I don't know, because it's showing it here. Yeah, I mean, the tree shake there, and that's it. That's all you've really got to do. Which is true to what I understand about these type of things. Seems to get stuck at 25% though, so I think that is the point you're supposed to offload it. Right, anyway, yeah, I'm going to go into a bit of a time lapse in case this works. Because then we can at least, yeah, like, get cracking. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals. Like, let's do another couple of trees first, because if this is good, no, that worked fine. Now, actually, we're probably better to do this as you should do, which is to go right down. If we, yeah, do the entries though now, so at least I know where I am. I know what I'm like. I totally forget where I am. Yeah, so you can see the animation, and this one seems to have got stuck as well. Has it still got fruit on it? I can't actually see whether it has, but it hasn't actually added to that in the canister. We have 224, and we've still got 224. But I can't see any fruit on it. I can't see any almonds, so it's almost like it hasn't. Okay, it is true I can't. Let's go to the top one. There's a slight yellowy hue to though, but yeah, that's like green. That's like as if it's been picked, but it hasn't actually given us any pistachios even, not almonds, because these are pistachio trees. I apologise for my incorrectness. I've been looking forward to this, but I did also realise it's also a new map and all that type of stuff, so... Yeah, you can quite plainly see the fruit on the tree. And that really is, at times, shaking the tree. Yeah, you can see the shaking animation. So... am I missing something? Are we at this percentage supposed to... well, the other got to 25%. Are we supposed to add this oily stuff to make it work? That's all I'm thinking. Well, that's definitely didn't do that. Let's try unloading. Not here, though, because I don't think this is a very good place. Let's stick this... just on... now, will it allow me? Yes, it will. Right, let's just see if it was something to do with being too full. Because I don't mind harvesting this for the fruit and then coming back and doing, yeah, all the parts of the process later on, as long as we've actually got it's done. I mean, I've tried to be level, I've tried to be down a little bit, I've tried to be up the little bit, but really you should just be there. No, so it wasn't anything to do with having some in already. And that's really shaking that like it should do, like it did before when it used to shake them out. Let's go in a little bit further. So I don't think I'm fully engaged, but... I don't want to go any further, actually. Right, okay. No, that tree... no, it isn't that one. Yeah, it did. It's like it's gone wrong. I'm going to say it's a mod clash, because that tree there to the left that has now not got any pistachios didn't actually give us any pistachios. But since that, it's not working. It's like it does 2 or 3, and then at that point, whatever obviously a mod does is not quite working correctly. Fold, shake. Yeah, and this is a new session because I was literally like anything on a new process, when it doesn't work properly, it causes a huge amount of stress. I thought, you know, I just can't be doing with this. I'm just going to come back. So I realised that doing such things resets mods that aren't working. So I was expecting to get a little bit, but again, it's about the same. 2 or 3 have worked, and then it stopped, and we can quite plainly see that I am shaking the tree, which did work before. It like does 2 or 3. Let's just try it in different places on camera. This is just so as you can see. This is actually, I'm trying everything that I can. Different angle, down, low. And then I don't know that would make any difference, really. I mean, you really have to be under your... yeah, that is a point. Really? I don't know. I would say that is the right way. You've got to have your thing pretty much under your entire tree, haven't you, really? which is pretty much there. As good as you can get this, really. I mean, I would say probably more like that. Ah, and now it's worked. Okay, well that's interesting. Is it just a little bit hit and miss? Is it that the mod isn't quite working properly? Just a little bit low, obviously, because the only thing you can do is move forward in time, and that's going to mean that I can't actually harvest either these or the pistachios. There's all the almonds even. These are the pistachios. Yeah. So let's go a little bit lower. See if actually almost at floor level's correct. As I say, there's obviously always with anything a little bit of old shape. And we can see that the animation's definitely going. Yeah, I'm thinking that the curvature of the tree, which is, we're not far off that. Yeah, it looks to me like we are right, and that's pretty much the angle we want. But I can't imagine in real life it's that finicky that you've got to be at a specific angle. I mean, that's lifting us. We're trying our best. Let's go up a little bit. Just trying to be thorough. Seem to appear to be stuck. Yeah, let's try. I'm just trying to think that really the curvature. Oh, why am I? Because I didn't even mean to do that. I wasn't trying to do that. Now, for some reason, I seem to be in the tree. Oh, you know, this is when things are. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, obviously with this being hilly as well, it's not aiding as even with this. It really could do with probably a more powerful tractor just to cope with the hills. Yeah, so we've got to get into a specific position where that's what I'm thinking and wondering if it is that the curvature of the tree seems to lend itself to us doing this. Now, it could be that the mod is quite demanding. There's very little room for error. I'm just trying to find that because I've randomly so far, and it could be, as I said, that the mod isn't working, but it could also equally be that you do need to be in a specific place, and there is very little room for error because we've seen the tree shake every single time like that. I've even gone as high as that, which I would think it was the bottom things rather, because the thing is the trunk splits and then you'd be on to the different boughs. Now that actually did work. Okay. This is a very mechanical, yeah, I suppose, no, it's not really. You can always look at the. So is it the higher boughs? I did say this would be a journey of discovery for us all, because it is as much for myself. So let's try a little higher then. Have I been lucky that I've just been at the base of the higher branch when I've done it correctly with the others? Is it that? Now that is weird because it's sort of quite seem right, engaged, and yet I am. Doesn't want to withdraw either. that's to do with the lay of the land as well. Yeah, again, that's to do with you trying to go for the higher bows. Is it at the base of that high bit, just underneath, or it splits? Just trying to surmise, because it is. It shouldn't obviously be that pernickety, but it might be a little bit. I can't imagine erShaba doing that, if I'm honest. I can't imagine anybody who wants someone's. Although I have seen. Obviously, yeah, the most things is with the game is something's not quite right, and it is supposed to be as easy as you're thinking it is, but it's not actually working, and that to me is what is happening. I think what I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to stop the recording, and I'm going to go and see if I can see if anyone else has mastered this yet, because I did do a search for this before myself. I was hoping to obviously see if somebody else had actually done it already, and it was so new that no one had. Right, okay. And also, I mean, you would expect to, you know, like this is full message or something like that. I say it could be also that that's why I'm going to go and look away. It's obviously got that oil stuff. Do we need to fill the oil? Is that supposed to lubricate things? Does that make the shaking of the trees a bit easier? These are all questions that I've got. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is stop recording for now, and I'm going to see you shortly. Right, I promised the Voyage of Discovery, and I'd just like to give a massive shout out to NJN Farms, absolutely, because I was just thinking it was me that was struggling with these, but I've got to be honest, he persevered, and it is just a little bit, I think I was beginning to think the same myself. It is a little bit random, it is, and he just basically, yeah, went backwards and forwards. In fact, he left it. I obviously I worried about the apron being open to catch things, but it is just, it doesn't really matter. And he literally just switched it on, and it is a little bit random. It's like the position. Sometimes it comes out straight away. Sometimes he just literally pushed it straight into it, and it is a bit of a hit and miss like this now, and then he came backwards, and then he went forwards, and sometimes it worked straight away, and other times it didn't. It's very hit and miss. I don't think it's supposed to be like this, but it is very much like this. So yeah, he tried different levels like I've done, and he was on about the elevation. This, if you look at how awful the elevation is, I don't think that's helping the mod very much at all. Yeah, I think that possibly has something to do with it. I did work this out quite quickly. He was on about the difference in colours. You can actually see it's sort of darker, but also you can see the little tiny, if you sort of zoom in a little, you can actually see the little tiny white dots for this. And it's gone. Yeah, and literally he just left it going and just went from one to the other. Literally, obviously to time lapse this, because it's going to take a while. It's not a quick thing. Yeah, and he had a massively powerful tractor, and this, yeah, I've got to be honest, this is really not the best for going up hills. It is struggling a little. Yeah, it's not fighting the hills very well. He said that he suggested a smaller tractor like this, but he had the massive Pace that I love, my favourite tractor, the 8s. Let me show you, just so you've got a reference point. He had massive wheels on it, but really, I think his choice was good because it's fighting the hills better. It really is a struggle to fight the hills. It's quite a long way in, but not all the way you think it is. Yeah, that one there, that beast, he had 886 horsepower, but he had massive wheels on it and all that type of stuff. So yes, whereas I've got a humble 143 horsepower, and it's struggling to go up the hills. Really is. I suppose actually that might be partially to do with the fact that I'm having that on at the same time. Let's just get it in position first. So now I've explained all that, I'm going to literally, I'm going to keep my eyes on the thing. I'm just going to go down from one to the other. Also figured out a few things that there were no YouTube tutorials for, in all honesty. Yeah, there are some things that I have figured out myself, and not through the help of another YouTuber. Not that there's anything to be ashamed of to get help from other YouTubers. Yeah, it really is Seems to be quite random. There's a lot of like just pulling backwards and going forwards. That's if you can. Sometimes I seem to get stuck. I think it's the horsepower. Doesn't seem to want to yeah, like now it's not wanting to yeah, I mean, I'm not even on the tree now, so it is a little bit random. It really is the position and whether it does, yeah, do it or not. He was going backwards and forwards and up and down, and it really is quite random. And as you can see, I've been pretty much just about everywhere, and it still doesn't. He called it stubborn, and I would say that's about right. I thought earlier it was a little high like that, but it isn't. I just think, as he said, it really is totally random. You just got to keep your eye on your kilograms, and as he says, it's somewhere between 60 and 70 odd per. Yeah, now he had a tractor that was powerful enough to actually cope with having that on all the time, whereas ours isn't really capable of. I can't just keep pulling it backwards and forwards like he did. So something quite powerful, I would say, was probably the order of the day. Yeah, also the angle, it doesn't seem to, yeah, it is totally random. You can see how stubborn this is being. Totally stubborn. So it is a bit of a, I've got to be honest, time for time, and I really, obviously it's a very, very, very small yield on this, really tiny, that, yeah, if it weren't for the fact that this was part of the map, I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't, because it's just not worth the time. I could make a fortune whilst I'm faffing around with this, but it is what it is. Let's face it, we all come onto these maps and we want to see something different. So, yeah, I am going to time-lapse it, and it is going to take me a while. Do I leave something a little bit more? Yeah, one thing I have done as well, the erShaba does actually do these himself, and it is just you. It's just you tip, you unload, do a force unload, which I did on the floor. But I've also erShaba does some of these boxes. He does a ton ones. Well, I've already got the refillable pallets, so yeah, you just literally, it's at the back of this as well. That I didn't actually say that, but you can just come straight over here. Mine doesn't want to go. Yeah, oh, it does actually. Brilliant. Well, there you go. Pistachios. That you see, that is amazing. Now that's, yeah, I just saw them. I've got two ton ones. I think I've got another 2 ton. Let me just show you. I don't tab very often. I don't tab well, except by mistake. But yeah, what I've done also is I've done a little bit of research. There are spare parts to this, which is the box of yellow, which I wondered what that 0 pieces meant. Well, that's what it means. It's spare parts. I presume this runs better with that. Also, the oil is supposed to be, and is specifically for this, and I've gone for the erShaba version. There is another version of this particular type of oil that's an awful lot more expensive. I don't seem to be able to find where I can fill it up. So that is a little bit... Yeah, oh, hang on, now let's have a look. Let's switch this on as well. Yeah, obviously, I mean, olives are nothing. The olive leaves that's got me a little bit, because I seriously did think that we'd see something about olive leaves, and this is obviously the special one, but it seems more about spare parts than it does anything else, which is a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. It is. I've done olives before. I really thought it is different. I'm not sort of trying to be awful. I did obviously. NJN Farms also, a small channel like myself, just starting off, was going through the productions on this, and I've got to be honest, yeah, they are, as we've just seen with that, quite tough. So I'm going to leave this to last, but I'm going to immediately go into a time lapse. I'm going to try to do as much as I can. Oh wow, I mean, yeah, sorry, I'm on 0.5, so I was just trying to glean a bit in the inside the shop just to see if there was anything at all that I'd missed. Yeah, jump ups are really good now, but obviously the BGA and the air fertilizer's doing really well. I've also stuck that is a point, actually. I think it's a small horsepower. Yeah, I'm trying. Let's just see, because we could do this. We haven't really got too many tractors. There's a couple I've put in which I'd like to sort of feature that have only dropped today. Or I know one was today, and I think one was a few days ago. I think that, yeah, I've never really got on with this manufacturer. Never found one that that I have with this manufacturer. Yes, this was the Fent 300. And it's, does it have, no, carpets? Okay. Yeah, it goes up to, I think it is 112. I think that's the max. Yeah, you can have, I'm sure you can have a, I'm sure this was featured with a front. I'm sure this has definitely got, yeah, we'll go for left and right. Warning signs, decals, GPS only, warning marking, reflector, area. I'm sure on the thing this was featured as having a front lifter. Yeah, I'm sure it was, unless it's different versions of it. Okay, let's go for 3 points. Yeah, we can go for 3 point. Now that I do know, but I'm sure the one I'd see. It is then. So you can't have it on all. That was not there. So let's just go back up and see if I'm right or whether I missed something initially and go up one more. It might be that the different ones. No. Oh, we went all the way down. Perhaps you can only have that with the 3-point link and the front loader. Again, it's only 112 horsepower though, so the one we've got is more powerful, no matter what. Yeah, that one was one. I thought that was a very good, reasonable, low-end tractor. There is... Oh, what's the other one? Here we go, the MB track. Now, this featured in FS19, and I could... Again, it probably isn't going to be the one. But again, this one also... is, I think it's, again, pretty much, yeah, and it's not, I think 120, yeah, 125 is the max. What weight is it? Oh, it's for a small tractor, that's not bad. Folding, additional lights, trailer hitch. I don't know what that means. Standard. Don't know what that means. Air filter cyclone. Fender extension. Oh, it makes it look a little bit. Remote valves. I don't know what that does. Hub. Front loader attacher, yes. Again, this has got a front loader attacher. I think you'll be seeing this in some of my Let's Plays, definitely. How much, which one of those is giving that, sending that up so much? 3.3 thousand, wheels 4. What is it the engine size? Is it that 100, is this one of those that's really dear for the engine upgrade? I don't get me wrong, I can live with that. Yeah, it is. Yeah. 15,000. 4 0. Yeah, 15,000 for that. Still not terrible, I've got to be honest. 70,000 for 125, and it's a Mercedes-Benz MB. I get it. Oh wow, I never realised that. It says Mercedes-Benz on it in big writing. It does. That still doesn't help us in this particular Let's Play. Yeah, I really could do with something a little bit meaty, but that's got a front loader, which does limit the. We could go for the Starer. The one that is, I think it's this one, goes up to 210. If I remember, is this the modded one that I have had before? It's very reasonable as well. Being as with, yeah, but I'd like to feature something different. Oh, let's go for middle. I'm sure there are some medium tractors that are quite reasonable. I'm sure there is a case that I don't think I've ever featured that is quite reasonable, modded, that really would do us proud in this situation. It's this one here. Yes. It is. What I'm going to go for is what we need first. Monitor front options. Quick hitch. I think that means a 3-point. No, it doesn't at all. It does on some though. I don't get that because on some of them, 2-wheel drive. Front loader attacher. Does that limit the... I think it does. This is one of those like the John Deere that we've got on Neverland, where if you have the front loader attacher, you can't have the other options on the front. Let's just see if I'm right. Yeah, it's that black case. I think it's all part of it. Oh, no, you can. It doesn't show, though. It's almost like you can't really. Yeah, so bottom line is you either go for a front 3-point thing, which I'm not bothered about. It's just we do need it to be powerful, though. That's the one thing so we're going to see. Can't remember how much it shoots this up if you go for the Big E. Still not bad, and I know it's going to cripple us a little bit. Is there anything else in that kind of price range? There's a bit of a meaty tractor. I do like it. It's a shame we can't do it with our... yeah, that sends it up. There are some... no, it's Noisy. Mr. Noisy, yeah, the Fiagri would be perfect. It's 180 horsepower, has got a front loader. Is there anything else like it? It is still noisy, I've got to be honest. Yeah, I thought Pepe had changed it, but some episodes it's louder than others. It really is. That one goes up to 176. Is that powerful enough? No, it's much more than that other one. You know, these are nice. These are the ones I think I'm on about. Yeah, and is this one what goes to 10? Oh, I like those. I do like those. Oh, would it help us with grip? And this is the one you cannot have both. Yeah, you either have the attacher and front loader. Yeah, you have a 3-point and a front loader, or you have a front and a back. You can't have both. Yeah, you can have default attacher and front hydraulic, but you cannot have a attacher. Yeah, you can't. It's got one. The one good thing is, though, we could use this as a heavy front loader. Really, it is a heavy tractor. I quite like this. I think we'll go for that. 60 grand. And we'll stick to... I think we will. I've never had those tyres before. They're beautiful. They really are. I think that's what we're going to buy. It's very reasonable. 210 horsepower. And hopefully we'll be a little bit tougher than the 143 horsepower that we've got, and we'll be able to tackle the hills a little bit better. Now, we have got the AGM up there, so we're just going to quickly take that up. Yeah, and the other thing I realised, it's... Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, of course, I had loads of boxes delivered, which I suppose saves me dragging myself. It's not there. It is so it's going to be up this other side. Over here. Ooh, that's literally... Yeah, it is. Yeah, right. Okay, so then that means... did we take the front loader attacher? I think we did. I think we took the one, didn't we? Because I was... Right, okay. Okie doke. Right, so we're going to need to race this over the other side. I do like this in every way. Is this... I thought it was a little faster than this. I could have sworn it was a little faster than 24 miles an hour. It's not slow, but I do like the tyres. They are absolutely beautiful. Right, yeah, we're going to start straight away. This is probably going to be a long session, and I am going to time-lapse this. Yeah, I really am. Yeah, I do need to put those things back. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is... I think it's... Is it that? No, it's not. No, there is a way for you to unhide the thing. I can't remember what it is. So I know it's something in H. I thought it was Alt or Control, and it isn't. Yes, I'd like to put those things back, the bits and bobs that I've taken away. Yeah, I could have sworn this was 26 miles an hour for this particular one. We've got rain coming. Would that affect us doing almond harvesting? I have no idea. I really haven't. Yeah, I mean, we've got an awful lot of bales over this winter. Obviously, there's not much we can do. This is just the harvest, is this particular session. I just thought I'd literally like to feature this particular thing, but it isn't easy. It isn't. I've got to be honest. It isn't for the faint-hearted. If I was not a content creator, I wouldn't be doing this. I really wouldn't. It's too difficult. He had the patience of a saint. I've got to be honest. I am not that patient. As far as I'm concerned, I did this morning. I stopped recording because I thought, nah, I'm not doing this. But then I went on and it basically came to the same conclusions as myself. That bottom line is, he called them stubborn. Yeah, some of them you can go, he went straight to it and it literally did it straight away. Or some he just literally, I think he must have got a bit of a feel for the height or the angle that you did it. But he said it was still hit and miss. Even if you do that, he said sometimes you lift it up, sometimes you put it down. He said the elevation, he thought of the land was affecting things, which, yeah, I bet he's totally right. So I am going to immediately go into a time lapse. Yeah, we're going to literally, yeah, just now then where am I? No, a bit further yet. I can see them on the hill, but we need to go a bit further than that. Yeah, what we're going to do is obviously we can only use one tractor at a time because it's only me and me. So yeah, this will be always. Now, when is this rain going to hit though? Because I have got to think of the olives, which we cannot do. Well, we'd have to because it's only this month. 4 o'clock, so actually it's very late in the day. That's not too bad then. It's 10:15. That goes to show how long an hour and a quarter I did earlier, and literally had just a few hundred litres of almonds. I did get that one load of olives. I thought I'd do a bit of everything. The olives, I'm not afraid of. We've done those before on other Let's Plays, and I quite like. I did them on Agres Balcones a lot. So, no, we can do this. Let's just get back on the road, though. I really don't want to be missing the way up. Now, this is handling the hills very nicely. This is more like it. As are the tyres. Ooh. Well, no, actually, we do need to stay up here. This is what I was saying. Yeah, we don't want to be... You know, sometimes I don't half choose the daftest of things, daftest routes. Yeah, so it's just along the top of this, and then as we come down, we will literally get to where we need to go to. I'm beginning to get a bit of a feel for the map. So yeah, obviously NJN Farms also was on about the how many productions are. And then what he did have one point, which I do agree with, the pallets. Yeah, that needs to be got really for this, because nearly all productions feature the pallets. Now you can buy them, but it would be cost effective and make more sense for us to actually get some. So I was thinking, obviously I want the productions on this to be the main feature. I'm thinking of, we could actually stick that. Let's just drop this little off. Yeah, he did also mention having a weight on the back as well. But although he'd got a big tractor, so I think if I remember rightly, he never bothered. But yeah. Right, so then let's drop the entire front loader onto the floor, and let's drop that behind and give plenty of room. Yeah, this is going to be a useful tractor though. It's only the hills which are defeating it. Is I do love this. It's a beautiful little tractor. Well, not so little, but yeah, I mean it's not massive either. Well, neither's this really. I'm going to say it's a lot bigger. It should be able to tackle the hills more. And obviously it's taken 85 horsepower worth of. It would have still been a bit better if it was more like the 261 horsepower tractor. But I like this because it's going to be a little bit more versatile. Right, so then yeah, we've dropped that on the floor. So we're going to need to grab that up at some point. Right, so I am now going to go into the time lapse. So I'm going to be quite conscious of the elevation of this. And also I've got to be careful because you can get this stuck and rammed into things, which I did earlier. Right, so I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, I'm coming at the time lapse a little bit. It has got a secret. It's not particularly fond of you going from above. It likes you to go below. Also likes you to keep this pretty much. It seems to prefer if you go with this on. Whether it looks realistic or not, it prefers it if you. No, I've done that one. Yeah, if you go in with this on wobbling already, you've got more chance. It's almost immediate, which I did notice with him, but I also think it was, yeah, this is the more pronounced of the two with an elevation. Seems to like the elevation of your thing to be square, bearing in mind that obviously we're up a hill. So yeah, if you sort of notice it's almost instant. Didn't so much do that from when you were above, but that might be in the elevation. Obviously, it's very difficult for a human being to work out the elevation plus square. You've got to keep this square, but you'd have to also work out the elevation. I mean, yeah, that drops straight away. I mean, he is right about the changing colour, so you can see there's a slight, almost creamy brown or a yellowy sort of, a bit like the golden green of the grass. I always think fourth growth stage, third growth stage of grass. Yeah, you've got to keep your eye on the amounts. Yeah, that didn't do it. Again, there is still a, but it was far less random than if you'd have. Yeah, it does seem to like that. You just got to sort of go straight in, no faffing around. Just you mean business. I switched it off. But as I'm approaching, I'll switch it on because it does drain a lot. I would say, although it's only 85 horsepower, obviously you're fighting the hill, you're fighting the engine's got to draw to, and you've got to fight the hill. Plus, you've also got to use the 85 horsepower for doing this. I would say 350 odd horsepower, which there are very few. Yeah, it's almost instant. It is. Yeah, there are very few that can. It's definitely better if you approach. Now we saw with my first ones that they were actually both nearly 100 horsepower, and it said that this was that. So it might say it's 85 horsepower, but it isn't 85 horsepower. Now, yeah, it seems to. Yeah, brilliant. That went straight up. Yeah, it is. It does seem to like this if you are, and I'm going to show that. And now, don't get me wrong, there is a bit of random, so I might be able to get the odd one where I am doing it from above. But yeah, it seems to like this if you start it and go in straight away. So it's almost like the movement's part of it. Yeah, it is. It's like it's expecting you to move with that on. In fact, yeah, it could be that as well. Let's try that from above, because I'm saying I think it is, and I did think so. But it's yeah, you've got to sometimes just now. I'm not sure actually that that's going to be any different. Ooh, yeah, we can do one more. So this is from above. Try to gain that, and just push forwards whilst going straight in. So yeah, I think it is. I think I was right. Let's try that a couple of times from above. No, maybe not. Well, let's just try. It might just be then the fact that you've got to go in with a smooth action, as smooth as possible, and switch it on as you're approaching. So it might be not anything to do with the elevation. Yeah, it is. It's more about the smooth action. It doesn't seem to care really if it is. Sometimes, yeah, you've got to. I think you've got to really prove to yourself with something like this exactly how it works. Right, I think we can do another one. But it is definitely about having this switched on as you approach. It doesn't seem to like it. Yeah, I mean, it even sort of does that a little bit. Yeah. So it doesn't care whether it's above or below. So I want to switch the cameras on, because sometimes you change your mind as you're talking, and you can teach somebody something and it's wrong. I do love the fact you can sort of put this. Now, would it go into the... I don't think I bought a trader, have I? Not up this end. They're all down the other end. Yeah, we just started up with this. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And, as always, as fellow shareholders on the farm, I always love to hear from you. And goodbye for now.